Naniniwala ka ba na walang imposible? Yan ang i-discuss natin ngayon dito sa Truly Happy One. Hello po, ako po si Eric Calugdan and kasama po natin si Sir Enrico Garcia. I used to be an IT consultant for Unisys and then after that put up my own business called Infotex. We are a web and mobile apps development company and we help SMEs in their digital strategies so that they'll be more efficient, more productive and thrive in any economic situation. So Enrico, on the other hand, used to be the retail operations manager of Shell, and then after Shell, he became the country manager of Herbalife. After Herbalife, he became the director of operations of Avon and one of the board of directors of the Direct Selling Association of the Philippines. Now he is a mindset coach and the director for international operations of Asante. Ayan. So welcome po to Truly Happy One. We do this every Saturdays at 5 p.m. via Facebook Live and YouTube Live, where we discuss world-class Pinoy excellence para lahat tayo maging world-class. And before we go to our main topic for today, let us know where you are watching from. Kung nanonood kayo from Mandaluyong, type nyo dyan sa comment section sa Facebook, watching from Mandaluyong. Kung kayo nasa Dubai, type nyo sa chat dyan sa YouTube, watching from Dubai. And also, wag na rin kayo mahiya. Send us your questions, feedback, type nyo lang dyan. And like na rin the video, comment, tag nyo yung mga friends nyo na sa tingin yung makakatulong itong ating topic for today. And share nyo na rin yung video para mas marami tayong matulungan and para wala kayong ma-miss ng mga episodes ng Truly Happy One. By the way, nasa 74th episode na tayo, Sir Enrico.
Wow.
Grabe, yeah. Para wala kayong ma-miss na episodes, make sure na you subscribe sa YouTube. Merong red button dyan. Click nyo lang yung subscribe. It's free. Wala pong bayad yan. Kung kayo nasa Facebook, merong link sa description nitong video papunta sa ating Facebook group. So, dun sa Facebook group, malalaman nyo rin kapag meron tayong mga bagong episodes ng Truly Happy One. Ayan. So, Sir Enrico, nothing is impossible, sabi nila. True?
Yes, in fact, previously, maraming samples ito, but the one we will feature today, before we show the slide is, kung sasabihin ko sa inyo ano yung nagawa niya, the first word that will come to your mind is imposible.
Hmm.
Di ba? Kasi let me tell you, di ba, what this guy did prior to his achievement was achieved in 7 years. Okay, 7 years. This guy did it in under 7 months.
Oh.
Okay? And so just saying that, 'di ba? And this is related to yung isa nating in our other program, Eric, yung pinakita ko this runner, this Kenyan runner, Eliud Kipchoge, as the first man ever to run a full marathon below 2 hours. Prior to that, it was believed that it cannot be done. And he did it, I think, 3 years ago. And when he was interviewed, he said, no, impossible is what you set in your mind as impossible. And of course, he has the achievement to show that. So let's show the slide, because this one you can watch, and I urge you to watch it. And this is a true story of this Nimsdai Purja, a Nepalese mountaineer. Prior to him achieving 14 peaks. So ano yung 14 peaks? He climbed 14 peaks, Eric, where each peak is at least 8,000 meters and above. Okay? Mount Everest is about 8,700 or 8,800. That's the highest, 8,800. But in the Himalayas, so that would be Nepal, that would be Tibet, and Pakistan. So yung 14 na yan is across those 3 countries. Okay? And this guy climbed all the 14 peaks, which I said earlier, was done by a German guy. It took 7 years to complete all those. This guy did it in 7 months, actually 6 months and a couple of days. That is brutal.
So, 7 months, 14 weeks. So, parang 2 linggo lang each peak.
Correct.
Grabe.
Eric, when you say 8,000 meters, you're talking at least as a minimum over 24,000 feet.
Wow.
So, para nyo ma-imagine yan, yung Mount Everest at its peak of almost 29,000 feet is kung may eroplanong tumatabi doon, pwede kang kumaway. Di ba, the planes fly at 29 or they'll cruise at 30, 31. Ganong kataas yun. Okay, the air in that peak is so thin. Most people don't survive that. So
Correct.
imagine this guy climbing 14 in 6 months. Sabi mo ng 7,
Mm.
di ba? Lahat above 8,000. Those are the highest ever in the
Mhm.
world. Now, why are we talking about it? Kasi sa kanya, if you watch this, he wanted to honor the Nepalese mountaineers. Kasi the Nepalese are the best guides for Everest. In fact, the
Hmm.
very first guy, Eric, Sir Edmund Hillary, when he succeeded back in the 50s, the first man to reach without oxygen, he had a Nepalese Sherpa, parang guide.
Mhm.
Okay, kababayan nito. Kasi they're the strongest, they live in that region. So, sana yung katawan nila, di ba?
Mhm.
So, those two created history. But that was back in the 50s, di ba,
Okey.
to Mount Everest. So, this guy climbed all of that. He wanted to honor the Nepalese mountaineer. And his mother was ill, actually almost dying. So, he said, I'm going to do this. So, malaking why niya, di ba?
Mhm.
And he is very fit. This guy was in the UK army. He had qualified to the UK and quit the army. In fact,
Wow,
galit
dahil?
yung because he wanted to do this.
Okey.
And he was being challenged by his own family. Why are you going to do that? You're already in the UK army. UK, United Kingdom.
Mhm.
Maganda na yung benepisyo mo, di ba? And then you're gonna come back here to Nepal just to climb that?
Mhm.
And he did. Di ba? So, anong significance? Ba't natin pinag-uusapan to? Okay, I'm not suggesting that you climb those peaks.
Aha.
But it really only goes to show. And Eric, wala siyang scientific training. They're not too well off, the Nepalese.
Mhm.
Wow, you would see the way he would run. Okay, it helped na he's from that region, but still, he faced tremendous challenges. Montik hindi matuloy yan because yun sa Tibet, the Chinese government did not want to give access to the two last peaks that he needed to conquer to complete 14.
Okey.
So finally, nabigyan ng permit para matuloy siya. So, ang
Mhm.
daming similarities sa buhay, sa negosyo, sa career, ang daming pagsubok. Di ba?
Mapanood nga 'yan. Hindi pa namin napapanood
Yeah,
'yan.
it is
Aha.
amazing. Di ba? And the lessons learned. Di ba? Now, like, balikan ko na, I'm not suggesting you climb peaks and all, but really, challenging yourself. Di ba? That, yun nga, yung mindset talaga, di ba? It starts from
Mhm.
you. Kasi pag sinabi mo imposible, tama ka.
Correct. 'Yun yung tinatawag natin na limiting belief,
Correct.
'no,
Correct. 'Di
na
ba?
dapat,
Now,
mawala or mabawasan.
right. So sasabihin ng iba, pero pare, paano? So maybe extraordinary. You can say all that you want, but the fact remains that here's a guy, and again, I'm not suggesting you do that, right? But here's a guy who believed in himself that he could make that happen, right? And it's because of that belief and then the action that he took, right? To train himself. And again, just as a reminder, so we don't get it completely, we don't lose perspective. He struggled as well with his training. And hindi lang training, yun nga, aside from the weather, meron pang mga obstacles like the Chinese government not allowing, di ba? So,
Correct.
ang daming similarities, Eric, and it's so powerful, di ba?
Mhm.
And really, in short, it's really just us that puts the limit. Di ba?
Yun yung kailangang iwasan natin, no? Yung limiting belief. So, sa mga negosyante, sir, na mga maliliit, ano yung sa tingin yung magiging application nito sa kanila?
Okay, small businesses. Ay naku, hindi natin kaya yan. Wala tayong pera. Ay naku, hindi naman tayo tapos sa eskwela. Di ba? Ay naku, wala naman akong maraming kakilala. And the list goes on. I can tell you, there are many people here in the Philippines, you know them, di ba? Entrepreneurs who have refused to yield to that. Di ba? Si Henry Ford nga, di ba? Grade 3. He was
Grade 3 lang ang
ruled.
natapos.
Yes. You go look for him sa Napoleon Hill. He was brought to court. He was considered ignorant or illiterate. He was being asked questions about history. Sabi niya, kailangan ko ba talaga sagutin yung mga yan? I have access people that I got can answer those questions. Yeah, that's his story. So, you can talk about obstacles. He had a lot of obstacles. Pero hindi siya never naniwala na kahit grade 3 lang ako, hindi ko. Can you imagine all the cars that bear his name today? Is because
Very
even
successful.
back, of course.
At global pa.
Of course. And you have to work, okay? But you have to believe that you can.
Correct.
Diba? Meron tayo kanina, diba? May nag-usap tayo, Eric. We had a project, diba? Naniwala talaga ako, kaya talaga, diba?
Yep.
Now, that doesn't mean it will be easy.
And that doesn't mean that it will be instant.
Yes, and guaranteed na magsasucceed. No.
Correct.
But I believe kaya talaga, 'di ba? I really believe na if we put kaya talaga 'yun. 'Di ba?
Yep. Correct.
So it starts there, 'di ba? Now, nothing new to this, 'di ba? Narinig ko na 'yan. Yeah, but here's my challenge to most our viewers. Yan narinig mo na, pero siguro lumusot lang. Alam mo naman intellectually na oo. But this demands courage. This demands action. 'Di ba? Kaya nakakatakot. Kasi pwede ka
Yung
talaga
iba
mag-fail.
natatakot na mag-fail, oo. Pero again, going through failure doesn't mean na ikaw ay failure, 'di ba? You only really fail if you quit. 'Di ba? Na hindi ka na tumayo ulit. Yun lang ang failure. Pero lahat talaga may dadaan ng failure at least once. Actually, more than once.
More
sa
than
isang
once,
venture
diba?
or sa isang goal or sa isang dream.
Right.
Yan. Nanonood sa atin, sir, si Jeff. Sabi niya, wow, this program never fails to help people learn in life.
Oh, wow.
Siyempre,
Salamat.
always here. To give
Always.
value.
Salamat. Salamat, Jeff. And talagang, yan si Jeff, magaling yan eh. Magaling yan si Jeff eh. So, yan yung talagang lesson na kailangan natin yan, no? Diba? That nothing is impossible. Now, again, uulitin ko lang for our viewers, ha? Kasi yung iba, ay, ganun, mag-isip lang ang ganun, okay na. No. Diba? You will be challenged. You may fail, probably fail along the way. But if you don't think it is possible, then you are absolutely right. And that's why many people don't even end up trying.
Correct.
So again, the message is a lot of it is really mental. Diba? I'll share my simple example, Eric. Very simple. Noon when I retired from Shell many years ago, and then I picked up badminton. Sabi ko, kailan ba namin matalo tong dalawang trainer na to? Pinaglalaroan kami, Eric. You know, it took us 6 months. We would play 3 times a week. Wala. For 6 months, hindi kami manalo. Okay, so sa umpisa, nilalampaso kami. Halos hindi kami makascore. So, of course, kakalaro namin, uma-advance naman yung score. Hanggang on the 4th, 5th month, lumalapit na kami. Dikit na. Dikit na talaga yung laban. Pero hindi pa rin kami manalo. Hindi pa rin. So, sabi ko sa partner ko sa niya, pare, hindi talaga ano. Sabi ko, no. We're getting close. Sabi ko, pare, alam na natin yan. We're there already. Alam mo naman ako, di ba? Super competitive. So sabi ko, hindi. We just, kaya natin yan. Kasi mentally, alam ko, di ba? True enough. On the 6th month, ayun lang nga, akala ko may sakit ako, Eric, after that. Kasi talagang baldado, but we beat them the first time.
Oo, oo.
As in
Talagang
legit,
matindi yung mind setting, yung physical na lang
wow,
yung medyo
wow,
nabanat.
wow, ibang klase. And
Mm,
that's just sports.
mhm.
Ikaw, you have your challenges in business. I'm sure when you were starting out, Eric, di ba?
Correct.
Di ba? Baka you wanna talk
Yep.
about that. Kasi sports yun. Ito, iba. So, it doesn't matter ano yung discipline. Eh.
Mm, mm. Correct, correct. Ayan si Buenafe nanonood sa atin. Sabi niya, "Hello po, watching from Mandaluyong." Hello, hello.
Salamat. Salamat,
Welcome.
Buenafe. Yes.
Yes, oo.
Ikaw,
Yes, sa
Eric.
business din, oo, maraming mga challenges 'no, and, sabi nila imposibleng magkaroon ng malaking business or palaguin yung business kapag wala kang malaking kapital or wala kang malaking team 'no, and in fact yun yung kabaliktaran na nangyari sa amin 'no. Very minimal lang yung startup, cost namin and very lean din, lean and mean 'no, yung manpower nung company. Pero successful naman with God's blessing, successful yung company, binless kami ng mahigit 500, corporate accounts 'no, and yeah, talagang with God 'no, nothing is impossible. Marami actually verses 'no sa Bible din na sinasabi na nothing is impossible. More than 10 'no na verses sa Bible na really nothing is impossible. And
Right.
sabi ni Buenafe, maybe many many years ago, many things are really impossible to do, but in our fast-paced technology age now, impossibility has no place for a mindset.
Oh, amen, buena fe. Lalo na when you combine the mindset with faith. And incidentally,
Yes.
in Napoleon Hill's, yung kanyang Bible of personal development, if you will, di ba?
Mhm.
One chapter is exactly on faith.
On faith.
Oo, kasi
Correct.
kung wala kang on faith, eh, di ba?
Correct,
Di,
correct.
di ba? Faith, the size of a mustard seed, di ba, Eric? Parang yung trainer yan
Mhm.
nung pinupunta natin dati, di ba?
Yes,
Can move
yes,
mountains, di ba?
correct.
So
And
it has to
ngayon, 'di
be,
ba, 'yun
yeah,
yung nangyayari ngayon, 'pag pumunta ka ng SCTEX, ng TPLEX, makikita mo na yung mga bundok, yung dinaanan nung highway na 'yun ay bundok 'no, hiniwa yung bundok sa gitna. So talagang nothing is impossible. It may not be katulad nga ng sinabi ni Buena Faith, may not be possible before, pero ngayon with technologies, with, heavy equipment 'no, it's possible. 'Di ba? In
right.
fact, kahit nung unang panahon din may mga bagay or mga structures 'di ba na hanggang ngayon hindi ma-explain ng mga scientist, paano nagawa 'yun, 'di ba? So may
Correct.
mga gano'n din. So
Yeah,
again, it's really starts with somebody's mindset 'no, na it's possible and yeah,
yeah.
action to
Kaya
make it
nga
possible.
nakukulitan na sila sa akin eh, doon sa VNG natin, 'di ba, na
Oo,
kasi yung skills okay, pero talagang mindset eh. Kasi
correct.
kung wala yung mindset, kahit anong gawin mo, wala talaga, 'di ba?
Mm, mm.
And it's not
Malaking
easy.
kawalan 'yun kapag
Oh,
wala ka sa tamang mindset.
ikaw, ako, permi tayo na-cha-challenge. We're just human beings, 'di ba? There are moments you will have, those doubts, 'di ba?
Mm,
I don't care who you are, kahit ako, 'di ba? There are moments papasok 'yun, yung talaga bang kaya ko 'to, 'di ba?
correct, correct.
Yeah, it will come, 'di
And
ba?
yan din yung dahilan kung bakit meron tayong truly happy one, 'no? Para yung mindset natin laging aligned, 'di ba? Laging nandun sa posible, 'no, na mindset. Sabi ni Benefe, "The possibility of an impossible project should be put into execution or else the positive mindset will just be a visual dream." Correct.
Yeah,
Kailangan ng combination ng mindset, possible mindset, and also action, 'di ba? So,
action. Action, 'yun talaga, 'di ba? Yung isang viewer natin diyan, si Jeff, magaling 'yan, action kaagad 'yan eh. Nandiyan ba si Jeff?
mhm.
Mag-comment ka nga,
Yes,
Jeff, 'di
yes,
ba?
si Jeff.
So, yun talaga yung ano eh, more than anything, the action. 'Di ba sabi mo nga,
Hmm,
Eric, fail fast, fail forward,
forward.
'di ba?
Correct, correct.
Oo, kasi yun talaga yung nagtra-translate, 'di ba? So,
Yep.
very simple. Really, it's again, this is nothing new, but just again a reminder and perhaps a challenge to everyone, 'di ba? Na really challenge yourself. Over the weekend nga, Eric, 'di ba? Itong weekend na to, as the weekend is getting ano, I've been asking myself, 'di ba? Ano ba talaga yung passion mo, 'di ba? What do you really want to, 'di ba? And 'di ba? Yung Kaya nga paborito ko, naalala mo yung kay Les Brown, di ba? Eric,
Mhm.
pinapaano natin, dun sa training, di ba? It's
Mhm.
possible, di ba? That's all I want you to do. Just say to yourself, it's possible, di ba?
Correct.
Because
Yep.
that starts
Ayan,
to switch, di ba?
correct. Sabi
Kaya,
ni Benefe, be specific in your needs for the project so that you can start to see the possibilities which others have dismissed already as impossible ideas. Correct. Huwag kang ma-stuck, no, dun sa idea na imposible to. Tingnan mo ano ba yung first step, no? Parang katulad namin before, ilang taon ba kami? Parang 21, 22 na nag-house hunting na kami. No, na para sa iba parang it's too young to start looking for a house to buy. Pero naghanap na kami, nagsimula na kami maghanap, no, mag-canvas, etc. And true enough, after a few years, yun, nakuha namin yung sarili naming bahay. 'Di ba? So talagang walang imposible. Just take the first step and then the next step and then the next step, no? Ayan, nanonood sa atin si Tabs Alim. Ayan. And also si
oh,
Mama Edita Calugdan is watching.
uy,
Thank you po for
tita,
watching.
kamusta? Oo, pirming nanonood ang tita Edith. Kamusta?
Mm.
I hope you're well, di ba?
Yeah, my question si Benefits. How can you get support from the people you need if they believe that your project is impossible to begin with?
Okay, my honest answer, explain to them, and if they continue to buena fe, I'll go direct to the point. Avoid them,
Mm.
at least temporarily. They're dream stealers, right? And they don't help you in your cause. Okay, when I say avoid, again, let's be clear. Oh, be civil to them, but don't listen to or don't be around them and listen to that. Diba? It will
Correct.
weaken your resolve. You have to find people who will celebrate, who will support, right?
And
Again,
believe na it's
and believe.
possible.
Correct. It's a reminder. That doesn't mean it makes it easier, ha? Okay. Para lang klaro tayo, it doesn't mean it guarantees success. Okay?
And
Okay. Di
yan,
ba? Go
oo.
ahead.
Yan yung tinatawag natin before, Sir Enrico, 'di ba, ng mga Negatrons.
Correct.
Iwasan ang mga Negatrons.
Maraming negatron sa paligid natin, 'di ba? And
Mm,
it's your choice, 'di ba? Don't be with them when you're trying to pursue something, 'di ba? You have to be with
yep,
people that celebrate and support, you know, your desire to do what might be deemed impossible.
yep. At yun din ang dahilan kung bakit meron tayong Truly Happy One community, no, or group sa Facebook. So kung gusto yung mga ganon na mga positive mindset people, no, na yun yung umiikot sa inyo, nag-cover sa inyo sa community natin, mag-join lang po kayo sa Facebook. Yung link doon nasa description nitong video. Ayan, may isa pang question dito. Aside from skill, courage, and confidence, what else does it take to be able to pursue a project that is impossible to some?
Well, it's everything you put there, 'di ba? The skill, the consistency, the persistence, 'di ba? It's that spirit, 'di ba? That you commit to it. Yun lang talaga ang necessary. Buo ang loob mo na talagang gagawin ko para mangyari 'yan, 'di ba?
Yep, and
Yung
ako,
yung
idadagdag ko dyan is faith. No?
of
Yeah, you have
course.
the faith na hindi lang ikaw yung gumagawa nito. You have a partner. You have a, a limitless, no, energy or source na it's possible, no, with God.
Amen. Not
Yan.
much more to
And
say.
po. Next, ang ating question sa ating mga viewers, no? What are your takeaways? Ayan. So ako ang aking takeaway. One is talagang kailangan nating kung hindi kayang i-minimize, kung hindi kayang i-eliminate, minimize, no? Yung tinatawag na limiting beliefs, yung mga paniniwala natin na hindi kaya to, hindi siya posible. And also, sabi nga rin ni Henry Ford na yun lang, grade 3 lang pala yung inabot pero very successful, hindi lang sa bansa nila, kundi globally na rin. Ang sabi niya, if you believe you can or cannot, you are right. Di ba?
Correct.
So, kapag naniniwala kang hindi mo kaya, then tama ka. Pag naniniwala kang kaya mo, tama ka pa rin. Di ba? So, very important kung ano talaga yung pinaniniwalaan natin. Di ba? So, we have to believe that we can do this before we can really do it. And also, yung sinasabi rin namin no, sa mga trainings namin, you can either have excuses or results. No, hindi pwedeng pareho. Isa lang dun yung pwede mong makuha. Either puro excuse ka lang or puro results ka dahil hindi ka nagbibigay ng excuses. And also, very important, no, sa lahat ng ito, sa iyong belief na kaya what's possible or what's impossible, ang pinaka parang secret ingredient din is yung faith mo, no? Sabi nga sa Matthew 17:20, kung meron kang faith na kahit sobrang liit lang na faith, no, as small as a mustard seed. Kung hindi natin alam kasi wala yatang mustard tree sa Philippines. Hindi pa ako nakakita ng actual na mustard seed, pero it's smaller than yung monggo. Di ba yung alam natin dito, monggo. Mas maliit pa sa monggo yun. Yun yung mustard seed. Kung ganun lang kaliit yung faith mo, you can move mountains. Which is what we are doing, no, in our time ngayon. Talagang nothing is impossible if you really have faith and never doubt. Ayan. Kayo, Sir Enrico, anong inyong takeaways?
Nasabi mo na, Eric, yun lang. Talagang takeaway lang is, in this time ng pandemic, all the more, this is important. Di ba? Kasi
Correct.
maraming nawawalan ng pag-asa na wala na, yung dati kong alam, hindi na wala na ako. Well, again, to that point, di ba? Nothing is impossible. Can you learn something new? Yes. Will it take longer? Perhaps. Di ba?
Correct.
Will it be difficult? Perhaps.
Yep.
But it's possible.
It's possible. Correct. Ayan. Sabi ni Buenafe, the only way to discover the possibility of an impossible thing is to go beyond its limits. Correct. And
Of
we are
course.
all faced with good opportunities disguised as impossible situations. Correct. No? Kasi kung
Correct.
hindi siya mukhang imposible, then marami nang gumagawa nun. The difference between an impossible thing and possible thing could be effort, mindset, and attention to details. As they say, it doesn't take a genius to see the possibilities, just a visionary who is prepared to do the impossible. Correct.
Amen.
Correct.
Diba?
Galing, galing.
One last dagdag. You don't need to be
Yes,
great to start, but you do need to start to be great.
correct. Yes. And ang ating topic sa susunod na episode is omission bias. Konting intro, sir, dito sa omission bias.
Yes, this is omission. Ibig sabihin, pag nagdidesisyon tayo based on information, may tendency tayo na piliin lang yung most recent
Mm.
information. So this
Mhm.
applies to anything, di ba? So it's a bias that's always operating. And pag-uusapan natin to, hindi mo maaalis to.
Mhm.
But the way to deal with it is to become aware when it's happening, because this is what many people do, and this leads to what you might call bias. Hindi mo kasi
Correct.
nakikita yung kabuuan.
Parang katulad na nangyayari ngayon, no? Malapit na yung, well, nagsimula na at ongoing yung campaign period. And kung meron ka na talagang inaay na presidentiable, parang yun nga, nagkakaroon ng omission bias na hindi mo na pinapakinggan yung ibang presidentiable kasi may
Correct.
napili ka na.
Correct. At saka most recent,
Oo.
kung anong available information sa iyo, so baka, yun lang ang tinitignan mo. So you'll see,
Oo.
we have a nice,
Hindi mo na-explore yung big picture.
that there are possibilities outside of what you know, but
Correct,
you don't
correct.
look at
And
it, di ba? So,
yes, and yung mga tao na mas malawak yung view, no? Sila yung mas maraming nagiging options at mas nakakita ng opportunities.
right, right. So
Yan
yan ang
ang
next
very
week.
exciting topic. Yes, next week. So abangan niyo po yan. At para hindi niyo ma-miss, make sure that you subscribe dito sa ating YouTube channel. And let's end our episode with our usual Panatang Makabayan. So itaas po natin ating kanang kamay at bigkasin ang Panatang Makabayan. Inibig ko ang Pilipinas, aking lupang sinilangan. Tahanan ng aking lahi. Kinukupkup ako at tinutulungan upang maging malakas, masipag at marangal. Dahil mahal ko ang Pilipinas, diringgin ko ang payo ng aking mga magulang. Susundin ko ang tuntunin ng lipunan. Tutuparin ko ang tungkulin ng mamayang makabayan. Naglilingkod, nag-aaral at nagdarasal ng buong katapatan. Ialay ko ang aking buhay, pangarap at pagsisikap sa bansang Pilipinas. Maraming salamat po and we'll see you again
Salamat.
next Saturday, 5 p.m.